Deaton Chris Anthony's Boogie Woogy, and it is 8 songs, 20 minutes long. I've never heard of him in my life, surprisingly. Hey, I did it for once.
Yeah.
And this album is really weird for me because there are songs I fucking absolutely hate, and this is like the problem with modern music. You know, Old Man Sean's gonna go on a tangent, and then there's songs that I absolutely love, and I had them on repeat. I'm like, well, who is this person? Why did they do this to me? Why did they make me feel this way?
It's chill wave. This is chill wave. It's a chill wave drop.
It is and it isn't, because I Shake the Ath is not chill wave. The opening track is one of the worst songs I have heard all year.
No, it's horrible in a very funny way.
It is funny. It's on the nose, and but
it's lo-fi. It's stupid on the nose.
It is horrible.
It's very much like if you're like Baby No Money or Young Gravy, that kind of style of like, we're fucking around in the music comedy. Exactly. We don't care about ourselves, but we're also trying to have fun and be a little creative. You'll appreciate that for what it is.
It's so bad because it's like, it's off tune with the little beat on the background. The trap snare is off beat. The whole thing is off beat. So and then he says, I shake that ass.
Shake that ass.
Shake that ass. Shake that ass.
Shake that ass. It's so funny. It's so
Audioface out of context right there. And
that's getting clipped.
And it is horrible. I was just listening, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the hell is Dan making me listen to lo-fi Fisher Price beats for? Fuck, I know dudes in Corona who make better music than this. Christ alive.
I know dudes with like hidden Corona bottles that make better beats.
Seriously,
than this.
and then
it's funny. but we'll continue. That's just the first song. That's just the first 21-minute drop.
Exactly. Hell yep. After that, I'm like, okay, I can get into this. It's still really odd and off, but I'm like, okay, at least it's not off beat and off fucking tune for once. And I'm like, this is that lo-fi little beats where you're just fucking around, where it's like the vocals are super in the background again, and then it goes back up and goes back and goes back up. I'm like, this is decent. And it reminded me, actually, a lot of this album reminded me of Les Sins, some of it.
Yes.
Especially when you go to Das Right. That straight up sound like Les Sins. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, wait, why wasn't I sure? Why was Shake That Ass here? Why don't you just get rid of that forever and then start with That's Right? I'm like, I got you in.
I'll go even further because we're talking about Les Sens, which is Tori Moi's like side project that's slightly more experimental. And I was even going to say this album's very much like Tori Moi's experimental album, like drop that was released, I think maybe earlier this. It all blends together. But it was like a bunch of different .mp3.
Come on, let's go. Oh, no, his .mp3 ones. Yeah. I can see that.
Where you have that, and I think Stinkin' Thinkin' kind of gets to that most because you get this sort of really weird sort of like violent strummy beat in the background.
And this is where I started to really like it. I'm like, wait, how did you just make one of the worst songs I've ever heard in that first track? The second track, I don't even know what that is, but it's okay. And then That's Right, Stinkin' Thinkin', I'm like, this is straight like experimental, like chill wave mixed up with a bunch of random beats. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I like this. You have Instagram Boys, which this is a song I'm like, this is licensed. Like straight up, this is one of the intro song on Michael. I can't think of the song of it on Listens. I'm like, it sounds exactly like it. And I'm like, I can get into it.
To me, I was gonna say it reminds me of Shiba-san's Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Because it has that like sort of like deep bass sort of drop thing that's kind of coating the middle of it.
Yeah. And it just like sounds like it's going back and forth. Instagram boys, going back. Yeah, Talk About. There we go. Because it starts to talk for Les Sins, by the way, is Talk About.
That song
it's just Instagram Boys just keeps going back and forth, and it's because comparing it to Les Sins, where it's like talk about all that music, and it goes womp womp womp, and it goes back and forth, and it sounds very similar. And I can get onto that. And then you have a song that I had on repeat for about 3 days, which is I'm So Damn. Because it's straight up pure house music.
I wouldn't expect that song of all of these, really, but okay.
But it's because it's straight house. If you listen to the beat, it is legitimately straight up house music. And I'm like, how do you go from I Shake That Ass to legitimately Euro 2003 house music that I'm playing F1, chilling in my house with a disco light going on in the background, and my cat's tripping the fuck out on the side, looking at the lights like this? How does one album or one drop do too many emotions to me? Stop it.
It's creative.
It's extremely
just,
creative.
Like, having fun,
it's just weird. I love it, and I hate it at the same time. Fuck. But yeah, I'm So Down. It's just like, oh my god, I love the house beat on it so much. It's very, very good. It reminds me of the end of, what's the Gorillaz song that has the house beat at the end of the song where it starts with the phone? I can't think of it.
Out of Body.
Out of Body. It's like the ending of Out of Body.
Yes.
It's that exact beat, but for an entire song. Because I've been saying for 3 years, like, why didn't they make Out of Body like the last 20 seconds of Out of Body an entire song? And I'm so damn is that.
That's how I am with a lot of rap songs, especially like Doom songs as an example, where like there'll be a switch up or like the beat will change near the end and Doom will just like leave that and fade it out for like 10 seconds. I'm like,
he's like, stop, why didn't you?
Sir. Because there's a beat right there.
When I was listening, I'm so damn, it stopped and paused for a little bit. I was like, that can't be it. And then it just goes straight to the beat again. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus Christ, there is a God. Just going back and forth, just like banging the shit in my car. I put that bass beat up, like, you know, I was going like this. Yes. And then I listened to that, and then the album stopped and went back to Shake That Ass, and I turned my shit down. I was like, no, skip.
I think one day, hear me now, quote me later, one day you'll appreciate that song a little more.
I probably will, because I did turn around on Bane That from Disclosure.
Yeah.
I did hate that song when it came out for about the first 6 months until I saw it live, and I was like, okay, it's kind of slaps.
Yeah.
And then you have the last two songs, Tuesday, which I don't know, is Mike Tyson doing the entire album or something? It's a whole little thing where it's like the club going up on a Tuesday. If you know that whole ratchet ass song. It's like a sampling that into an experimental like garage beat of just really fast pace, which again I do enjoyed. And then I love All My Friends. It's like is that lo-fi, almost chill wavy style of like getting into that bed, like going, slowing it down, everything, which is an okay track. Yeah. But for a drop, there's a lot of freaking sounds in this work.
There's a lot going on here. There's definitely some pickings out of this that I like. I'm not going to judge this as like a complete finished work.
No, God, no.
This is where we're supposed to just like let artists just like put together like collections.
But now Deaton Chris Anthony's on my radar because what the hell?
Hey, not bad. Not bad. We keep it interesting on Audioface.
Seriously, I'm just like, this shit played too much of my emotions, man.
Father's Text from Rehab. This is gonna be who is it? Slow Tie's dad.
I'm gonna go for very morbid. No, should I go morbid?
Absolutely. We're at the end of the podcast.
This is true. This is if Lil Peep survived, this is what his mom texted him.
Wow. No, okay. You know, actually, that's really bad. That's really bad. Oh my God. Wow. I denounce, repudiate, and condemn that.
Oh, I actually like his music, which is hilarious. Or some of his music, I should say. And his death was pretty sad.
Let's just say his music has grown with age. Well, he
hasn't.
Did not.
Jesus Christ!
Audioface, before the bodies are even cold.
Before the bodies have decomposed.